She found a flash drive, but the moment she pressed play, her life was already over. It was late. The city had gone quiet, and she was just about to go home. Nothing felt unusual. Nothing felt wrong, until she noticed something on the passenger seat. A small flash drive, lying there, silent, cold, unfamiliar. She frowned, her mind trying to remember, but nothing came up. She was sure that flash drive wasn't hers, and no one had entered her car. At least, not that she could remember. For a moment, she hesitated, her fingers hovering above it, unsure whether to touch it or just leave it there. Pretending it didn't exist, she almost threw it away, almost walked out, almost forgot about it. But something felt off. Not dangerous, not yet, but wrong. Like it wasn't just a random object. Like it was meant to be found. Slowly, she picked it up, her grip tightening slightly, as if her instincts were trying to warn her. But curiosity was stronger. Minutes later, she was inside her room, sitting in front of her laptop, the only light coming from the screen, casting a faint glow across her face. The flash drive was plugged in, and there it was, a single file. No name, no date, no information. Just one file, waiting. She stared at it, her heart beating just a little faster now. A strange feeling creeping into her chest, something she couldn't explain. Her finger moved slowly, hovering above the trackpad. She hesitated, just for a second, then she clicked. The screen flickered. For a moment, nothing. Just darkness, then shapes, shadows, slowly forming. It was a room. Dark, empty, silent. The camera angle felt strange, like it wasn't meant to be seen. She leaned closer, her eyes narrowing, trying to understand what she was looking at. At first, it didn't make sense. Just a dark space and silence. But then, something moved. A figure, barely visible, standing in the corner. Her breath caught, her body froze, and without realizing it, she whispered, "Wait." A pause, her eyes locked onto the screen, her expression slowly changing. From confusion to fear. I know this place. The room in the video felt wrong, too quiet, too still, like something inside it wasn't supposed to exist. She leaned closer to the screen, her eyes trying to adjust to the darkness, trying to understand what she was seeing. At first, it looked empty, just an old room with cracked walls and barely any light. But then, the camera moved, slowly, carefully, as if someone was holding it. Her breathing stopped for a second. This wasn't just a random recording. This was being filmed by someone. Inside the room, she felt a chill run down her spine, her fingers tightening slightly on the edge of the table. The camera kept moving forward, step by step, deeper into the darkness. And then, a sound? Soft, almost unnoticeable, like something being dragged across the floor. Her eyes widened. She turned up the volume, just a little, trying to hear it again. There it was. A faint noise. Something, or someone, was in that room. The camera slowly turned to the left, and that's when she saw it. A figure, lying on the ground, not moving. Her heart started beating faster now, her chest rising and falling heavier than before. "No," she whispered under her breath. The camera got closer, closer, until the figure became clearer. A man, lying on the floor, completely still. And then suddenly, he moved just a little, a weak, desperate movement, like he was still alive. Her entire body froze, her eyes locked onto the screen. Unable to look away, the man tried to lift his head, struggling, barely able to move, and then a shadow appeared behind him, tall, silent, watching. Her breath caught in her throat. The shadow didn't rush, didn't panic. It just stood there, for a moment, as if it was enjoying this. The man on the floor tried to crawl away, slow, weak, desperate. But it was too late. The shadow stepped forward, one step, then another, closer and closer, until it was standing right behind him. She shook her head slightly, whispering, "Nope, nope, nope." Her fingers trembling now. The screen flickered for a second, and then the shadow raised its hand. Everything inside her screamed to stop watching, but she couldn't. She just couldn't. The video glitched again, the sound distorted, and in that broken second, she saw something that made her blood run cold. The hand, the way it moved, the shape, the fingers. She slowly looked down at her own hand, her breathing turning uneven. "No way," she whispered. her voice barely audible. The video suddenly cut to black. Silence filled the room. Heavy, suffocating silence. She didn't move, didn't blink, her eyes still fixed on the screen. Her mind trying to process what she had just seen. Her heart pounding louder than ever. That hand, a pause. Longer this time? It looked like mine. Her hand slowly pulled back, as if she was afraid to even look at it. Her breathing was uneven now, shallow, unstable. Like her body was trying to process something it refused to understand. "That's not possible," she whispered, shaking her head. It couldn't be her. It didn't make sense. There was no way. And yet, the image of that hand stayed in her mind, clear, detailed, identical. She forced herself to move, slowly reaching for the laptop again, her fingers trembling as she touched the trackpad. The file was still there, silent, unchanged, like nothing had happened. For a moment, she just stared at it, hoping maybe she saw it wrong. Maybe the lighting, the angle, the shadows, maybe it just looked similar. Nothing more. I need to see it again. Her voice was quieter now, almost unsure. Before she could stop herself, she clicked. The video started playing again. The same room, the same darkness, the same man, lying on the floor. Her heart immediately started racing again. But this time, she wasn't looking at the man. Her eyes focused on something else. The shadow, waiting, watching. She leaned closer, her face almost inches from the screen. Her breathing slowing down, trying to stay calm. The moment came again, the shadow stepping forward, the hand rising, and there it was. Clearer this time. Long fingers, slight curve, a small detail near the wrist. Her eyes widened, her entire body stiffened. She slowly lifted her own hand again, comparing, without even realizing it, the same shape, the same movement, even that small detail. "No," her voice cracked. She pulled her hand away quickly, as if it didn't belong to her. Her head spinning now, thoughts colliding, crashing into each other. This isn't real. It can't be. I've never been there. Her breathing got heavier, faster, panic creeping in, slowly taking control. She stood up abruptly, pushing the chair back. The sound echoed in the room, too loud, too sharp. Everything suddenly felt wrong. The air, the silence, even her own thoughts. She started pacing, back and forth, trying to remember anything, something, but her mind felt empty, like pieces were missing, important pieces. Her steps slowed, her expression changed, from panic to confusion. Why can't I remember? She stopped moving, her eyes slowly drifting back to the laptop, still playing the video, still showing that room, like it was waiting for her, calling her back. A strange feeling grew inside her chest. Not fear, not exactly. Something deeper, something familiar. She took a step closer, then another, her hand reaching toward the screen. Almost unconsciously, her fingers hovering just above the image, as if she could touch it, feel it. And then, a sudden flash, a fragment, a memory, so quick, so unclear, but enough to make her freeze. A door, that same room, and her standing inside it. Her eyes widened in shock. Her breath completely stopped. "No," a long pause, her voice barely a whisper now. "I've been there." She stepped back, her heart still racing, her mind struggling to keep up with what she had just seen. "I've been there," she repeated softly, as if saying it again would somehow make it less real. But it didn't. The image of that room, that door, it stayed in her head, clear enough to feel familiar, but broken, incomplete, like a memory that had been cut apart. She looked around her room, as if expecting something to change, but everything was the same. Too normal, too quiet. Her eyes slowly returned to the laptop. The video still playing, looping over and over again. That room, that shadow, that moment, it felt like it was pulling her in, calling her. Without thinking, she reached for her phone, her fingers still slightly shaking. She opened the camera and paused. A strange thought crossed her mind. If that place was real, then she had to find it. She had to know, whether it was just in her head or something worse. She grabbed her keys, hesitating only for a second, before walking out. The night air felt colder than before, heavier, like the world itself was watching her. She got into her car, closing the door slowly. The silence inside felt suffocating. Her hands rested on the steering wheel, But she didn't start the engine yet. She closed her eyes, trying to remember that door, that room, that feeling. And then something clicked. A small detail, almost forgotten. A street, a narrow road, barely lit. Her eyes opened instantly. I know where it is. She started the car, the engine breaking the silence. And within seconds, she was driving. The city passed by her in a blur, lights stretching into lines. Empty streets, silent buildings. Everything felt unreal. Her grip tightened on the wheel, her breathing slow but heavy, as if she was being pulled. Not driving. Minutes passed, or maybe longer. She wasn't sure anymore, until she slowed down, her eyes scanning the area, and then she saw it. That street, exactly like she remembered. Dark, narrow, almost hidden. Her heart dropped. No, she whispered, but she was already turning into it. The deeper she went, the quieter it became. No people, no cars, just darkness, and the faint glow of distant lights. And at the end of the road, there it was. The house, old, silent, and completely still. Her breath caught instantly. Her hands froze on the steering wheel. It was the exact same place. From the video, she didn't move, didn't speak. Her eyes locked onto the house, trying to find any difference, any sign that it wasn't real. But there was none. Everything matched perfectly. A cold wave ran through her body, her chest tightening. And this is impossible. Her voice trembling now. But deep down, she already knew the truth. Slowly, she opened the car door, the sound echoing softly in the empty street. Her feet touched the ground, unsteady, uncertain. But she kept moving, step by step, closer to the house, each step heavier than the last. Her heart pounding louder, faster, stronger, until she stood right in front of it. The door, the same door, from her memory, from the video, right in front of her. She raised her hand slowly, hesitating, her fingers just inches away from the surface. And then she stopped, her breath shaking, her voice barely a whisper. What did I do? Her hand trembled, still hovering in front of the door. The silence around her felt heavier now, pressing against her chest, making it harder to breathe. For a moment, she thought about turning back, getting into her car, driving away, and never looking back, pretending none of this ever happened. But she couldn't. Not anymore. She needed to know. Slowly, her fingers moved forward, and gently, she pushed the door. It creaked open, the sound cutting through the silence like a blade. Her body stiffened instantly. She waited, listening, but nothing came. No movement, no voice, no sign of life, just silence. She took a step inside, then another. The air felt different, cold, damp, and heavy, like the house had been abandoned for years. Yet somehow, it didn't feel empty. Her eyes adjusted to the darkness, scanning every corner, every shadow, trying to make sense of the space. And then, that feeling again, familiar, uncomfortably familiar. Her steps slowed, her breathing quiet, controlled, as if she was afraid of making too much noise. The floor creaked beneath her feet, each step echoing softly through the house. She moved deeper inside, following something she couldn't explain. Not logic, not memory, something else, something pulling her forward. Her hand brushed against the wall, and she froze. The texture, rough, cracked, exactly the same. Just like in the video, her fingers slowly traced along it, as if confirming what she already knew. It's real, she whispered, her voice barely audible. A sudden chill ran down her spine. Her eyes shifted to the hallway ahead. Dark, narrow, leading further inside. Her heart started pounding again, louder this time. Stronger, but her feet kept moving, step by step, deeper into the house. The silence became unbearable, so heavy, it almost felt like a sound itself. And then, a faint noise, somewhere inside. She stopped instantly, her breath caught, her ears straining to listen. There it was again, soft, dragging, just like in the video. Her eyes widened. No, she whispered, but the sound continued, slow, uneven, disturbing. Coming from deeper within the house, she shook her head slightly, as if trying to deny it, but her body was already reacting, moving toward it, step by step. The hallway seemed longer now, darker, closing in around her. Her breathing grew heavier, her chest rising and falling faster, until she reached the end. A door, half open. Her heart nearly stopped. She knew this door. She had seen it before. In the video, in her memory, her hand slowly reached for it, pushing it open just a little more. The hinges creaked softly, revealing the room inside. Her body froze completely. Her eyes locked onto the floor, and what she saw made her blood run cold. A dark stain, spreading across the surface, old but still visible, exactly where the man had been lying. Her lips parted slightly, her voice shaking. This is where it happened. A long silence, heavy, suffocating. And then, behind her, a sound, a single step. Her entire body froze. The sound behind her was small, almost nothing. But in that silence, it felt deafening. Her breath stopped, her heart pounding so hard, it almost hurt. Slowly, very slowly, she turned her head, her eyes scanning the darkness behind her. Nothing, just the empty hallway, silent, still, exactly the way she left it. Hello? Her voice trembled, barely holding together. No answer, only silence. But it didn't feel empty anymore. It felt watched. She swallowed hard, trying to calm herself. It's nothing, she whispered. Just your imagination. But even as she said it, she didn't believe it. Her eyes slowly moved back to the room, to the stain on the floor, that same spot, that same place. Her chest tightened. And then, another sound. Closer this time, a soft, dragging noise, right outside the room. Her head snapped toward the door, her eyes wide, frozen in fear. No, she took a step back, then another, her body reacting before her mind could catch up. The sound continued, slow, uneven, getting closer. Her breathing turned shallow, her hands shaking uncontrollably now. She looked around quickly, desperate, searching for something, anything. But there was nowhere to hide, nowhere to run. The house suddenly felt smaller, tighter, like it was closing in on her. The sound stopped. Right outside the door, silence. A heavy, suffocating silence. Her heart pounded louder, faster. Her eyes locked onto the entrance. Waiting, praying. Nothing happened. Seconds passed, or maybe minutes. She couldn't tell anymore. Her legs felt weak, her body stiff, trapped between running and staying still. And then, a shadow, slowly stretching across the floor, from the hallway, into the room. Her breath caught instantly. Her eyes filled with terror. The shadow moved, slow, deliberate, as if it knew she was there, as if it was looking for her. She stepped back again, her body trembling, her voice barely a whisper. Who's there? No response. Only the shadow, getting closer, longer, darker, until it stopped, just inches away from her feet, her entire body locked in place, unable to move, unable to think. The air felt colder now, heavier, harder to breathe. And then, a hand appeared, gripping the edge of the door, pale, slow, unnatural. Her eyes dropped to it, and in that moment, everything inside her shattered. That hand, the shape, the fingers, the small detail near the wrist, exactly the same. Her hand, her breath broke into a gasp. No, she shook her head, stepping back rapidly now, her mind collapsing under the realization. It's not possible. It's not real. It's not me. But the hand didn't disappear. It tightened its grip, pulling slightly, as if something was about to step into the room. Her chest tightened, her vision blurring slightly, her voice cracking into panic. Stay away from me. A long pause. And then, a voice, low, distorted, barely human, from just outside the door. You shouldn't have come back. Her breath completely fell apart. The voice, that voice, it didn't sound unfamiliar. It didn't sound like a stranger. It sounded like her. Her eyes widened in pure terror, her body shaking violently now. No, she stepped back again, almost losing her balance, her mind racing, trying to reject what she just heard. That's not me. It can't be me. I've never been here. But the words felt empty, weak, like lies she was telling herself. The shadow outside the door didn't move. It just stayed there, waiting, watching, as if it already knew. She was starting to remember. Her head began to hurt, a sharp, piercing pain, like something inside was forcing its way out. Her hands moved to her head, gripping tightly, trying to stop it. But it only got worse. Images, flashes, fragments, breaking through her mind. Fast, violent, uncontrollable. That room, the man, the floor, the sound of something being dragged. Her breathing became erratic, her knees nearly giving in. Stop. She whispered desperately, but the memories didn't stop. They grew stronger, clearer, closer. She saw herself, standing in that room, holding something, her hands covered in something dark. Her heart dropped. Her body froze again. No. Tears filled her eyes, her voice breaking. That's not me, but deep inside, she knew. It was. The image burned into her mind. Her standing there, breathing heavily, looking down at the man, still, unmoving. The same man, from the video, her chest tightened painfully, her fingers trembling, as another memory forced its way through. The exact moment, she lifted her hand, the same hand, and brought it down. Everything went silent. Her body stopped responding, her mind blank, as if it couldn't handle it anymore. A long pause, heavy, suffocating. And then, her voice, barely a whisper. I did this. The words felt unreal, distant, like someone else was saying them. But they came from her. The shadow outside the door shifted slightly, almost stood closer now. As if reacting to her realization, her eyes slowly lifted, staring at it. Fear, guilt, confusion, all mixing into something unbearable. Her breathing shaking uncontrollably. Why, she asked softly, why would I do this? No answer came, only silence. But this time, the silence felt different. It wasn't empty. It felt like it was waiting for her to remember everything. Her body slowly backed away, step by step, her eyes never leaving the shadow, her mind still spinning, still breaking, until her back hit the wall. She stopped, trapped, nowhere else to go, her voice trembling again. What else did I forget? Her back pressed against the wall, her chest rising and falling uncontrollably. The question echoed in her mind. What else did I forget? And this time, something answered. Not a voice, not a sound, but a memory, slowly, painfully, returning. Her vision blurred, the room around her fading, replaced by something else. That same room, but different, brighter, clearer, alive. She was standing inside it, not as a visitor, but as herself. Her breathing was heavy, her hands shaking, but not from fear, from anger, pure, uncontrollable anger. The man was there, on the floor, looking up at her, terrified, begging, his voice breaking, desperate. But she didn't move. She just stood there, watching him, her expression empty, cold, like she had already made her decision. Her fingers tightened around something in her hand, something heavy, something solid. The memory shook violently, as if her mind was trying to reject it. But it didn't stop. It kept going, forcing her to see everything, every detail, every second. She took a step forward, then another, standing over him. The man tried to crawl away, weak, desperate, but he couldn't escape. He was too slow, too broken, and she knew it. Her breathing grew heavier, faster, her grip tightening even more. Her eyes locked onto him, unmoving, unfeeling. And then, she raised her hand, slowly, calmly, like she had done it before. The man cried out, begging, pleading, but she didn't listen. She didn't hesitate. She brought it down. The memory cut sharply, like something snapping. Her eyes shot open, her body jerking slightly. Back in the present, back in that dark room, her breathing out of control now, her hands trembling violently. I remember, she whispered, her voice shaking. I remember everything. Tears ran down her face, uncontrollable, her body barely able to hold itself up. It was me, she said again, but this time, there was no doubt, no denial, only truth, raw and brutal. The shadow at the door shifted again, closer now, almost inside. Her eyes slowly lifted, looking straight at it, no longer just fear, but something else, understanding, you're not someone else. A pause, her breathing slowing, just slightly. Hey, you're me. The shadow didn't respond, but it didn't need to, because deep down, she already knew. That thing standing there, watching her, waiting, was not a stranger. It was the part of her she tried to erase, the part that remembered everything, the part that never forgot. Her chest tightened again, a painful realization forming. I didn't just forget. Her voice cracked. I tried to hide it. A long silence, heavy, suffocating. And then, a final whisper. From myself. The words hung in the air, heavy, undeniable. I tried to hide it. From myself. Her body felt weak now, almost numb, like the fight inside her was finally collapsing. The shadow stood at the doorway, no longer just a shape, no longer just a presence. It began to move, slowly, stepping into the room. Her eyes followed it, unable to look away, not because she wasn't afraid, but because she already knew what she was about to see. The figure stepped forward, out of the darkness, into the faint light, its form becoming clearer, more defined, more real. Her breath slowed, her heart pounding, but no longer chaotic, just heavy, steady, like it was preparing her for the truth. Another step, closer, closer, until it stood just a few feet away from her, face still hidden in shadow, but the body, the posture, the way it stood, everything felt familiar, too familiar. Her lips parted slightly, her voice barely a whisper. Show me. A long pause. Silence filled the space between them, thick, suffocating. And then, slowly, the figure lifted its head, the shadow slipping away from its face, revealing her, exactly her, the same eyes, the same face, the same expression, but colder, empty, broken. Her breath stopped completely, her body frozen in place, as if time itself had stopped. I know, the word escaped her lips. Weak, fragile, but it didn't matter anymore, because it was real. Standing right in front of her, looking straight into her eyes, was herself, the version of her that remembered everything, the version of her that never forgot what she did. Tears streamed down her face, her vision shaking, but she couldn't look away. The other her didn't speak, didn't move. It just stared, silent, judging, waiting. Her voice trembled again. Why did I do it? Her reflection tilted its head slightly, as if considering the question. And then, for the first time, it spoke, calm, cold, emotionless. You already know? Her chest tightened, her breath breaking again. Fragments of memory rushed back, faster this time, stronger, clearer. The argument, the shouting, the anger, the fear, and then, that moment, the moment everything crossed the line, her legs weakened, her body barely holding itself up. I lost control. She whispered, the words shaking, the truth finally complete. Her reflection stepped closer, closing the distance between them until they were face to face. So close, she could almost feel it breathing. I know, it replied softly. You didn't lose control. A pause, long enough to break her completely. You chose it. Silence, absolute silence. Her mind went blank. Her body stopped resisting, the weight of those words crushing everything inside her. Her knees slowly gave in, her body dropping to the floor, her eyes still locked onto her reflection, tears falling without restraint. I chose it, she repeated, her voice hollow, empty, broken. The reflection stood above her, looking down, unmoved, unforgiving, and then it took one final step closer, leaning down slightly, its voice barely above a whisper. And you tried to forget, a pause, cold, final, but I never did. Her body remained still on the floor, her mind empty. The words echoed over and over again. You chose it. You tried to forget, but I never did. Her breathing slowly began to change, from panic to something else, something quieter, heavier. Her tears didn't stop, but her expression, it shifted, from fear to realization. A long silence filled the room, as if everything had finally settled. And so that's why, she whispered, her voice calm now, almost too calm. That's why I couldn't remember. Her eyes slowly lifted, looking at the version of herself standing above her, not with fear, but with understanding. I erased it. A pause, her breath steady. I erased my own memory. The reflection didn't respond. It didn't need to, because she was right. Everything was clear now. The flash drive, the video, the memory, none of it was an accident. None of it was random. She created it. All of it. Her fingers moved slightly, pressing against the floor, as if grounding herself in reality. I recorded it. She continued, her voice steady, but hollow. So I wouldn't forget, a faint, broken breath escaped her lips. And then I forgot anyway. A long silence followed, heavy, suffocating. Her reflection slowly straightened, taking a step back, giving her space, or maybe letting her face it alone. "Why now?" she asked softly. Why did it come back? The reflection looked at her, calm, unchanged. And then it answered, "'Cause you were ready to see it." A pause. The air felt still, almost frozen. Her eyes lowered, thinking, processing, accepting, and then, slowly, she nodded, just once, as if agreeing with something inevitable. Her body pushed itself up slightly, not fully standing, just enough to sit, her eyes drifting toward the laptop in her mind. The video, the evidence, the truth. "So this is it," she whispered. "There's no running anymore." No answer came, because there didn't need to be one. She already knew. A faint sound filled the room, barely noticeable, but real. The same sound from the video, the dragging, the movement. Her body froze again. But this time, she didn't panic. She didn't run. She didn't look away. Slowly, her eyes lifted toward the darkness behind her reflection, and then she saw it. Another shadow, deeper, darker, watching, waiting. Her breath slowed. Her expression didn't change. "It's still here," she said quietly, her voice steady. No fear left, only acceptance. Her reflection turned slightly, as if acknowledging it, and then, without another word, it stepped back, merging into the darkness, becoming part of it, leaving her alone with the truth, alone with what she did. A long silence, one final breath, and then she whispered, "I remember everything now." The screen fades to black. Silence. No music. No sound. Just darkness.